Hey all, Michelle Raza here with Finding Yourself SATX Life Coaching, helping you find your best self since 2017. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Today we're going to continue talking about Dr. Gibson's self-care for adult children of emotionally immature parents. If you haven't had a chance, please do check out our website. We're at www.findingyourselfsatxlifecoaching.com. There you can start your life coaching journey for only 99 cents, buy the digital coaching package for under $10, and start your live coaching journey with me. Please go to the Contact Us section to see my information where you can send an email and I'll have a conversation with you free of charge. Thanks, y'all. Okay, so we're going to talk about Dr. Gibson's self-care for adult children of emotionally immature parents. This is her third book. Each of the books are amazing, and Dr. Gibson has been very supportive of our channel. I think my hair's being a little unruly. Dr. Gibson has been very supportive of our channel. She has written me a couple of emails and also had a phone call with me, so that's just amazing and such an honor. And she gave me permission to cover this book, so I asked her before I started covering it. She's a practicing therapist, so if you live in Virginia, she's licensed in Virginia, and she's just so great, and she's just amazing. Like, she allowed us to link, my website is linked to her website, so if you can support her by going to my website and then clicking on her link, that would be nice as well. Anyway, without further ado, last time we were talking about boundary setting, and this time we're going to talk about, it says chapter 8, why you're emotionally fatigued. Emotional fatigue is physically real. Have you ever had an emotional encounter that left you limp with exhaustion? Then you know the special kind of fatigue that comes from emotional work. You can feel more drained after certain emotional experiences than if you had run a marathon. Physical effort is tiring, of course, but emotional effort feels like somebody has zapped your very life force. This kind of fatigue is beyond what you can feel with muscles alone. It is telling you that your brain has been in hyperdrive, consuming glucose voraciously and sending blood flow to very energy-intensive parts of the brain. You have just had a neurological workout. Emotionally sensitive people, like you and me, the internalizer children of EI parents, are especially likely to get tired out by others' needs. If you are this way, you respond to bids for sympathy and attention because you are so empathic. The acute perceptiveness, sorry, give me a second. I think I've probably told you guys I live in a zoo, and so I think in the sense that I have way too many animals. I have 2 dogs outside, a cat inside, a guinea pig, and so it's like the whole food chain. Like one of my dogs, Rodney, if he could catch my cat, he would kill him. And the cat looks very curiously at the guinea pig, but there was some kind of like loose little something floating around, and it was bothering me. And I've had people comment on my videos saying that, please shut up and please just continue reading. And it's like, well, then please go buy the book and stop watching my videos. Thanks. Okay. I'm just going to backtrack because I forgot where I stopped. I'm sorry. Emotionally sensitive people, like internalizer children of EI parents, are especially likely to get tired out by others' needs. If you are this way, you respond to bids for sympathy and attention because you are so empathic. The acute perceptiveness that sparks your sensitivity means that you will notice the smallest disharmonies in other people. And once you notice even a tiny bit of distress, your brain's mirror neurons will start firing away, subjecting you to an empathic workout that takes on a life of its own until you get away from the person. Your nerves are actually being overworked by involuntarily mirroring their discomfort as you rack your brain on how to make things better for them. In the old days of psychology, emotional symptoms were tied to the nervous system more directly. We used to talk about nervous exhaustion, neurasthenia, neurosis, and nervous breakdowns. These old terms were, in some ways, more fitting because they recognize the connection between our distress and our actual physical nervous system. They recognize that people were feeling bad because their nervous systems were overworked. Now we have shifted to emotional disorders and psychopathology, but I like the old terms because they tied emotional symptoms to the body itself. But how can just using your nervous system make you so tired? One of the most interesting things about your nervous system is that it is responsible not just for doing, but also for not doing. There are two kinds of processes the nervous system performs: initiating action and inhibiting action. Whenever you restrain yourself from the urge to act, you are doing as much work, often more, as if you had actually said or done something. The expression, biting my tongue, is a good metaphor to illustrate how one part of the nervous system clamps down to stop the action of another part. And this takes energy. People who leap into action look like they're expending lots of energy. But people who pause, think, and problem solve, instead of popping off, are expending even more energy. This means that people who are empathic, self-reflective, and concerned about helping others are constantly draining their neurological batteries with their internal efforts. If this is you, your energy expenditure is not obvious because you are not showing any outward physical action. But on the inside, you are wrestling emotions, controlling reactions, considering future outcomes, and trying to find not just any solution, but the best solution. This actually uses more energy than being reactive and impulsive. Good parenting and good relationships demand complex neurological inhibitions, which require more effort than just blindly reacting. For instance, reacting punitively toward a defiant teenager takes less neurological energy in the short run than listening to the teen, calming him, and getting him to work with you rather than against you. The restrained approach gets you a better outcome in the long run, but in order to do it, you have also paid the price of activating some pretty energy expensive real estate in multiple locations of your brain. Peacekeepers work hard on the inside, using brain systems that troublemakers don't even know are there. There's one more page, but give me a second. Okay. Thank goodness for people who exert their brains to calm others and find constructive outcomes, whether it is dealing with a child or with global politics. This high level of mature behavior is a strenuous physical workout of the nerves and neurons, working brains double time to find the optimal blend of both inhibition and action. So now you know that the peculiarly exhausted sensation of emotional fatigue is physically real and coming from your actual nervous system. If you recognize this as genuine tiredness, you may be more willing to honor your needs for downtime after making those Herculean emotional efforts. The whole neurological system does not need to cut off after mental exertion. It just needs to shift focus. The nervous system never stops being active. Even in sleep, we breathe and dream. But after exertion, it wants to shift into other states, which relaxes the brain. This is why it is so crucial for caretakers and those who have to deal with difficult, dominating people, such as EI parents, to get away and engage in other replenishing activities and diversions. The tired brain wants to slip into a mode in which there is no need to watch your step, think of others, or inhibit thoughts and impulses. That is why laughing at a TV show or being with good friends is so relaxing. Your brain can just let go and no longer has to work at putting the brakes on itself. Free, unopposed mental functioning is relaxing and energizing. If you ever find yourself saying, why am I so tired? I haven't been doing anything. Stop and reconsider. Yes, you have been doing something. It was all those things you didn't say, all those destructive urges you didn't follow. That was a full day's work from your brain's point of view. From all the rest of us who benefited from your efforts and never knew it, thank you for all the work you did that we never even saw. All right, so next time we'll talk about healing from emotional injuries. That's chapter 9. I hope that these videos are beneficial to you. I really learned so much from Dr. Gibson, and I wish that, she had license in Texas and I would go see her. She's just so great. But being able to be, and it doesn't have to be your parent, right? And anyone that is emotionally immature and that you're around is going to drain you. And I have people ask me, they're like, does that mean that you're introverted? Are you introverted? The Myers-Briggs says actually that I'm not introverted. However, when dealing with EIPs, I do get emotionally exhausted, as most people would. So I think just minding your energy levels, and I think she has another chapter in here called that, right? Mind your energy levels. It's very important, right? And scheduling your time with EIPs in your life around that, like understanding that at some point you're going to hit your wall, and scheduling your time so that so that you have a way to get away whenever you hit that wall. I think it's very important. I think she covered very, very in depth in recovering from emotionally immature parents. That's on our playlist. She talked about that, right? Making the excuse, and then maybe they'll make fun of you for the excuse, and that's okay. As long as you get away from the situation and you get to a place where you can take care of yourself, that's really what matters. And ultimately, right, it's up to you how much you're willing to take, right? If you've asked them to do a particular thing or not do a particular thing and they're not listening or respecting you, it's on you to say, I've had enough. Whether that means I've had enough for today, I've had enough for this week, this month, I'm not going to see you guys until Thanksgiving, or I'm just done, right? So only you can make those determinations as to how much you can deal with, how much you can absorb, how much you can allow yourself to be drained. Please remember, though, you're not going to change your EIPs. You may have tried, and it's good, and that doesn't mean that they can't change. They can if they're interested in getting help and talking to maybe a counselor, reading Dr. Gibson's books, watching these videos. If they're interested in this stuff, they can grow. But 9 times out of 10, as soon as you start talking about this, they're going to switch off, tell you about whatever they're interested in, whether it be the latest sports game, whatever movie that came out. They're going to talk at you and tell you about their day and never quite ask you about your day. And you're going to feel like you're intruding, right? Just by trying to tell them about something that's important to you in your life, you're going to feel like you're intruding because they don't really care to know what's important for you in your life. They care to talk at you, not with you, but at you, and tell you what's important in their life. And that's draining too. That's very, very draining. So mind your energy levels. Figure out how much you're willing to tolerate and make sure that you make enough time to recover. If you know that you're going to be with someone for 2 hours and you're going to come out drained, plan for another 2 hours of recovery for yourself before you have to go do something else, right? Self-care, that's exactly what this book is called. Self-care for adult children of emotionally immature parents. Self-care is really, really important and not selfish. You're not hurting anyone by making yourself the best version of who you can be. And one of the other videos I talked about just figuring out how much sleep you need to function, minding your alcohol levels, your caffeine levels, making sure you get enough exercise, being able to say no at work. That's important too. If you're trying to climb the career ladder, you may feel like you have to say yes to everything that's thrown your way. But eventually, by saying yes to everything that's thrown your way, you don't have the energy to climb any ladders. You're overwhelmed, you're burnt out, you're stressed out, you're not delivering your best work, and you're not going to get promoted, period. So understanding when to push, when to give in, how to set boundaries, what boundaries to set, enforcing the consequences of your boundaries, all of that stuff. If you have access to a mental health professional, they can help you with that. Goal setting, right? Personal vision statements, writing out your goals, achieving your goals. That's what I'm here for. And so an LPC or a licensed professional counselor is somewhat different than a life coach, but both of us are trying to help you to find the best version of yourself that is in there. We know it's in there. And so helping you to be that person. So please do check out my website, www.findingyourselfsatxlifecoaching.com. If you're interested in any of the personal vision statements, you can buy them starting at 99 cents. You can buy the whole package for $8.99, or you can book time with me. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I really love our conversations. I really look forward to talking with you again next month. Pick up the book if you haven't. I actually, let me show you some of the cool new things that I just got. So it won't let me raise this any higher, so you're not seeing half my face. But I got these cool little books to give out to my clients, so they're little journals, and then I got a nice little stamp. So it says, "From the desk of Michelle Raza," and then you can scan it with your phone. So I thought that was pretty cool. Turns out it's highway train robbery though, because the code, they gave me the code for free, and then they were like, hey, your code expired, now you have to pay all this money. So that wasn't fun. And then for someone who's doing life coaching and has completed a series of 8 sessions, they're gonna get this cool blanket. I can't even get the blanket on video. This blanket, let's see if I can get it. And then the blanket also has the QR code, so that's kind of cool. So, and then I went a little crazy. I got folders, and so I didn't go crazy with t-shirts and masks this time, but I did go a little crazy with office supplies. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. Look forward to talking with you guys next time. Sorry for my crummy background. It's because I raised the desk to show you all that stuff. So take care, and take care of yourself, and contact me if you need to talk. All right, bye-bye.